Hello, podcast family. Welcome in. Welcome to Podcast Pocket Full of Sunshine. If you are new here, thank you for joining us this evening. As you know, I normally drop episodes on Wednesdays. Not every Wednesday. My intent is to be posting episodes every Wednesday, but sometimes life happens and I just can't find that rhythm yet to be able to do that. I'm getting there though. I'm really working on it. I'm being more intentional with my time and my schedule and just making sure that I get these things on the calendar because this is important to me. Sharing my story is important to me. Helping others who are going through the same things that I've been through or that I'm going through currently is really important to me because I don't want anyone to ever feel like they have to navigate this healing journey, this life journey, grief journey, addiction journey, abuse journey, whatever it may be that you're dealing with. You never have to deal with that alone. There are people out here that love you and understand, even if it is just through social media. You have that support group, you have that support system. I have tons of resources, always available through email. I also post resource links and things like that on my podcast page on Facebook. You can find me across all social media platforms, Podcast Pocket Full of Sunshine. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. So again, lots of resources on there. If you're struggling with something, if you need help finding a meeting, if you just need somebody to talk to, send me an email, podcastpocketfullofsunshine@gmail.com. I am pretty responsive. I do try to check that daily, a couple times a day, and respond as quickly as I can. This week has just, the last 2 weeks literally have just kicked my butt. I had strep throat, and then I had several rounds of antibiotics for that because the first round just didn't touch it. Then I ended up with like all kinds of other issues from antibiotics, and so it's just been a challenge. And then I spent the last 2 days down with a migraine. So yeah, here we are. It is what time is it? 5:25 in the afternoon on Wednesday. I'm just now recording my episode. Normally I pre-record. This week I did not do that. It's already dark outside. I don't know about you guys that love winter, but I am not a fan. I'm not a fan. It's so dark already, so early. It's 5:30 and it's getting dark. Makes me sad, makes me depressed, makes me just want to stay inside because it's cold. Like I got some sweatpants on right now. As soon as I got home from work, I was like, I need warm, comfy clothes. Like I need to be chill. I got me some hot tea here. Super antioxidant tea. It's amazing. It is by Yogi, Yogi. It's a green tea, but it really helps like reduce free radicals through your body and stuff like that. I am a firm believer in teas. My neighbor laughs at me all the time because like if I'm sick, I'm just drinking some tea. So I really try not to take medication if I don't have to. Our bodies are natural healers. That's what they are made to do. That's why we have immune systems, right? So with everything I've had going on over the last week and a half, I've just been sipping on these hot teas as much as I can. Trying to cleanse my body and build my immune system back up and just get through this dreadful 5 o'clock sunset because I'm not a fan of it. I'm just not. Yeah. So I've really been thinking about some other ways that I can outreach through the podcast, and I'm thinking about starting up a fan page, although I already have a page, so I don't know if I necessarily need a fan page, but I've just been rolling around the idea of merchandise. I love this shirt. This is not one of my shirts. This actually it belongs to me. I bought it, but it's through Odd Life Athletics. It is a Black-owned business that a Facebook friend of mine started up. He has so many great shirts, sweatshirts, athletic wear, just regular everyday clothes, anything like all kinds of apparel on there, and it's amazing, and I love it. I've gotten several outfits from there for the gym and things like that. So check it out. It's on Facebook, Odd Life Athletics. Christmas is coming up. It's great way to just send gifts to people. And it's a small business. Always support small businesses during the holidays, because small businesses struggle all the time regardless. And so instead of going out buying all these name brand things for Christmas, whatever, and I know teenagers are picky and sometimes they do, but a lot of these small businesses have things that are really in style right now. And these teenagers would just absolutely love it. And they would start a new trend, right? So shop small businesses this year. Black Friday's coming up. I know there's probably gonna be lots of good sales across tons and tons of different businesses, big corporations, but also small businesses will do a lot of Black Friday deals too. So just check them out. I really don't have a topic in mind for this week's episode because, like I said, I just I've been under the weather, so I'm flying at the seat of my pants today with this one. But I just really want to talk about winter blues, because I feel like that's important right now, especially with, like I've said it 5,000 times already in this episode, and it's only 5 minutes in, that the sun is setting earlier, it's cold outside, I just want to sit in the house and just do nothing, So a lot of times we don't realize in the winter, like when the seasons change, our lives are like seasons. Like we go through all kinds of different seasons in life. Different people are involved in those seasons. Not every person is meant to go into the next season with us, and sometimes that can be sad and depressing. But the same thing with our earthly seasons, right? In the summer, everybody's happy, great, wonderful. Like, yeah, we're going to have longer nights, spend time with friends, family, have all these hours in the day to do all these things. I mean, we can still do that now. But who wants to sit outside in the cold? Not me. And if y'all do, you're crazy. That's what I think. I don't like to be cold, guys. I don't. I would rather sweat to death than be freezing. That's just me. I've always been that way. My kids are the same way. We walk outside in the mornings and Waylon says, "When are we going back to Florida?" Like, I know, buddy, I know. I want to go too. They just like to be outside in the summer, in the warm, when it's light out. When it's dark at 5 o'clock. Also, if you have small kids, this time change just messes them up. They'd be ready to go to bed at 6 o'clock in the evening and then ready to wake up at 5:45 a.m. I was like, can you take your little butt back to sleep? Because I'm tired. I am tired. But I don't know. I've just, the season change has really had me thinking this week about how quickly life changes. And when the seasons change, we expect it. We know it's coming. Excuse me for keep on yawning, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm just really, really beat this week. It's only Tuesday. No, wait, it's Wednesday. I'm on the podcast. It's Wednesday, okay? So we're only halfway through the week and I'm done. I'm so tired. But we have the holidays coming up. If you celebrate Thanksgiving, we have Thanksgiving coming up. So spend time with your families, eat good food, just embrace each other, because our life seasons change more quickly than the seasons outside. And I have experienced that on so many different levels. I have been in relationships that I thought were great, amazing relationships, and all of a sudden one day, boom, that whole relationship has changed. It goes from great, beautiful summertime, sunshine, smiles and laughs, to bam, all of a sudden everything's dead. It's dark, it's cold, it's raining. Like, it's just, of course, those are all metaphors, but you get what I'm saying. Like, we totally skip that fall phase in these life relationships, life seasons, and go from amazing to awful in literally 10 seconds. And we gotta we got to navigate through that the best way that we can. We can do two things. We can layer up and keep going forward and walk through that darkness, walk through that coldness, still continue to do everything we need to do to be successful, to reach our goals, to reach our dreams. Or we can sit in our little comfortable space where we're not worried about how cold it is outside. We're not worried about how dark it is. We're not worried about what's coming. We just want to hide from it. How many of you do that? When something happens in our lives, we just kind of hide from it instead of facing it head on and walking through it and saying, yeah, this is going to be bad, but it's a season and it's not going to last forever. Right? It's not going to last forever. I get on a prayer call every morning with Pastor Kim. She preaches, she's a pastor of a church in Atlanta, Georgia, Limitless Church. And so I watch her online, oftentimes on Sundays, and I get on that prayer call with her every morning, and she uses this one specific scripture, and I love it. Amos 9:13, things are about to happen so fast your head is going to spin. And that's what I try to keep reminding myself when I'm going through these storms, when I'm going through these trials, when I'm going through these life seasons. Like, yeah, this is dark right now. Yeah, this is shitty right now, but things are about to change. And they're going to change so fast. I'm not going to know what just happened. I'm not going to trust it, because after what I just went through, why would I trust anything, right? So I just keep reminding myself that everything's a season. Every season brings new beauty. Every time, okay, after winter, everything dies and it's dark and it's horrible, it's awful. And in the spring, everything that we looked at that was dead and cold and dark and lifeless is now green and beautiful and blooming and regrowing everything that it lost in the winter and more. When we see the bulbs coming up, the tulips, the daffodils, everything, the amount that come up this year are almost double what came up last year, right? But it took that season of coldness and darkness and bitterness for that to happen, for that set of bulbs to multiply and bloom even bigger and better and more beautiful than it was last year. So I know a lot of times I feel stuck in a season. Like, well, I can't tell you how many years I spent saying, like, why does this happen to me? Why? Like, this is the way it's always going to be for me. I'm stuck here, you know? No, I was not. I convinced myself that that's what was going on, that I was stuck there in that season, and I wasn't. When I changed my mindset and started telling myself, this is a season, this is temporary, I'm going to go be great. What's going to come for me out of this situation is bigger than anything and better than anything I ever could imagine. Then it started to flip. I finally, after 39 years, of course, I'm including my entire lifespan, but since I've been 18, I've never had credit. I've never had a good credit score. I have had to file bankruptcy before. When I was married, my husband got so extremely sick, he nearly died. And we had hundreds of thousands of dollars in medical bills. So we had to file bankruptcy to get rid of that debt, because there was no way we could have paid it with 6 children. So, well, at the time we had 4 children. So anyway, we filed bankruptcy. And so, you know, if any of you have ever done that and filed Chapter 7, you know, that really takes a hit on your credit. So after that, I never had credit cards. I never had a car loan. I never had a personal loan, anything like that, because I was afraid of having to file bankruptcy again. I didn't want to have all this debt or try to keep up with the Joneses and end up putting myself in a situation where I couldn't pay for what I had. So I've never tried to rebuild my credit until recently. Over the last like 2 years, I have started just doing things. I still don't have credit cards or anything like that because I just don't want that. But I've been working on paying off small little things that were yet again against my credit, from just random medical bills. Like when I went through my divorce, I was on a very tight budget where I could barely pay. I was living paycheck to paycheck, paying one bill at a time, small little amounts towards these bills. Doctor bills would sit for months and then get sent to collections, and I have to pay them off, and all of this. So I've been working really hard on paying a little bit. Anytime I have extra money, like, I'm throwing it towards those bills and I'm paying those bills off. And now finally I have a credit score that's above 700. And I've never had that my entire life, but I've worked my ass off to get that this far. And that's so rewarding for me, because I spent years telling myself, like, I'm never going to have credit. I'm always going to have to get my cars from buy here, pay here. It's like the car that I got for Hayden came from a buy here, pay here. And it's been a great car. I almost have it paid off. I'm so proud of myself. I have like 10 payments left. And they're bi-weekly. So really only like 5 months. So it's been a great reward for me to watch that credit score go up each week and each month. And I get these notifications like, something with your credit has changed. And I'm not afraid to look at that anymore. I'm not afraid to look at it and say, oh my God, what's on there now? Like, what's changed now? No, because I'm disciplined now. I don't spend money that I don't have. I make sure that I'm on a tight budget. I make sure that that bills are paid first, and everything else is if we have it, I'm not afraid to work extra jobs just to make ends meet, because sometimes I do have to do that, and that's okay too. So my whole point of this little ramble about my credit score and things like that is that even when you feel like there is no way in hell you're ever going to get yourself out of this situation, just do it one day at a time, one thing at a time. I started with my smallest debt that I had on my credit, which was like literally a $30-some medical bill. Why did I let that get sent to collections in the first place? I don't know. Maybe I didn't have a choice at that point, or maybe I just ignored it because I don't know. So anyway, and then once I paid them and got the receipts for them, then I disputed them and they started taking these things off my credit. So it's been great. I had all these old addresses taken off there that were no longer relevant. Just made sure it was cleaned up and in order. That's my whole goal now. Like, my entire life goal now is to have in order life, in order finances, just everything, taking care of my kids, taking care of my family, taking care of my relationship. And that's it. That's the whole goal. Just growing and moving and not being afraid to grow. So many people are stuck because they're afraid of change. But change provokes growth. And growth is necessary. Change is necessary. We go through all these things in life, and so many times we pass up opportunities because we're afraid of what's going to happen. Like, is this going to be a good change or is this going to be a bad change? Take the leap. Use the faith that you have and take that leap, because whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, it's all part of your journey. It's all part of your destination. It's a stepping stone in your growth journey, your growth track. Everything good and bad in our life allows us to grow and elevate. Sometimes we're going to set back, but then we sit back and we need to look at those lessons and say, okay, what was this brought here to teach me? I keep repeating this same cycle. Now, what do I need to do to break this cycle so that I can move forward and grow into a different person than I am right now? Because I don't like the person that I am right now. I don't like the situation I'm in right now. We can't sit around and pray and, like, please let this blessing happen, whatever. God is not, if you don't believe in God, then you're probably not going to listen to a thing I'm saying right now. But I am faithful, and I do love the Lord, and I do pray, and I do believe that God brings just so much healing and so many blessings into our lives. And I had to realize, like, we can't sit back and pray, like, please, God, get me out of this situation. Okay, but then when God brings me an opportunity to get me out of this situation, I pass it up. Because I'm like, no, there's no way I can do that. Wrong. How do we expect our prayers to be answered and our blessings to come if we're not willing to move towards them? If we're not willing to get up out of this little comfortable spot that we're sitting in right now, like I am in my cozy little corner, soaking up my beautiful fall tree and my fireplace, my little heat coming out of it. Even though I'm comfortable here and I want to sit here because this is warm and this is where I want to be, if I'm praying for an answer to something or a blessing that I want so badly, and my phone rings and says, hey, you got to get up and come outside right now. If I say, no, it's too cold out there for me, I just passed up that blessing that was waiting for me. I just passed up that outlet, that opportunity that God just brought to me, because I didn't want to get up out of my comfortable place. It's a lot to think about, I know. But it's just, I've just been thinking about it a lot lately, about just how we always expect things to come for us and to come to us and to be given to us. And we look at answered prayers as just an automatic or an award instead of an opportunity. And we don't want to do the work to get there. But we have to. We have to stop being lazy. We, as a society, we have become so lazy because we're just so used to things just being available. Which is why so many of us are stuck in these cycles that we feel like we can't get out of. Because we're just sitting there waiting for something to happen. But we're not doing anything to make it happen. I feel a little bit convicted today. I don't know if you guys do too, but I definitely do. I've been doing a lot of journaling this week. I got a lot of things to think about. Yeah. It's just been a lot. But it's a season, and I'm embracing it, even if it is dark and cold outside. I'm going to get through it, and the blessings are going to come, and it's going to be beautiful, and I'm here for it, every single bit of it. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. I love you so much, and thanks for listening to me ramble this week. I know it's not our traditional episode, but I just thought I'd just talk about the seasons today. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. If you have any questions or if you need anything, please email me, podcastpocketfulofsunshine@gmail.com. Check out our Facebook page and drop in the comments if you are interested in like that merch thing that I was talking about, because I might have I have a connect that can do podcast merch for me. So shirts, keychains, cups, mugs, whatever. Just throw me some ideas out there of something that you might like from the podcast that you would just support and represent, and let me know. All right. Love you guys. See you next week.